Hello. Today we will talk about adjectives. You can ask me. So, adjectives, they are so simple. What new information can you tell us? And I hope that I will find some more interesting facts and I will share them with you. Some facts which you have never considered before or just have never analyzed. We will not talk today about comparative forms of adjectives, so good, better, the best will be in a different video. So we will not talk about constructions like as, much better, and we will not even take my favorite construction, the longer he waited, the angrier he became. But today we will talk about the positions of adjectives, some punctuation, and some moments when the typical position of an adjective, for example, before a noun, doesn't work. Let's start. Okay. Two main positions of adjectives. They are attributive. Attributive, that is our most common one when we put an adjective before a noun. So attributive position before a noun. And predicative position when we put an adjective after a linking verb, to be, to become, and so on. Our two main positions. We have just seen an exciting film. The film was exciting. But the first but which we meet today is there are classifying adjectives, some adjectives which just describe what type of thing something is. Something like criminal, nuclear, medical, or social, or main, local, and so on. And are emphasizing are mere, sheer, utter, and others. We put them only before a noun. We cannot put them after the verb to be. Look at the sentences on the right. The plant they have built here is chemical. Looks quite okay, but I believe sounds quite weird because we hardly ever have heard this variant. So, because chemical, that is a classifying adjective, and we can put it only before a noun. The second example is with mere. The chance that they met was mere. It's an emphasizing adjective, and we can put it only before a noun. Mere chance. So, two groups of adjectives which we can use only before a noun and we cannot put them after to be. The only variant to check it, of course, is the dictionary because there is no any other explanation. Adjectives after verbs. Yeah, usually after verbs we use adverbs, and in the Russian language there are no other variants. However, in English, after the verbs be, become, feel, seem, and others, we will talk about them more in a more detailed variant when we speak about adverbs, but they exist. After them, we use adjectives. So she became very angry. I feel good, not well. Well, we can use well, too many wells for one sentence. But well in English as an adjective means healthy. So I feel healthy when I say I feel well. So it seems strange, not strangely. After some verbs, we use adjectives. Just you need to remember such verbs. Usually they are linking verbs like be, become, get, or verbs of feelings and senses. After some verbs of thinking and feeling, but here it's not after these verbs. After these verbs, we just need a linker to be, but we can use it. We can use these verbs without to be, and as a result, Instead of I consider him to be very reliable, we can say I consider him very reliable. So it looks as if we use our adjectives after these verbs, but no, we just don't use a linker. And the funniest thing here, and something that has no explanation at all, is position number 3. If we have some adjectives which begin with a, or some adjectives about health and feelings, we can put an adjective only after the verb and never before a noun. Asleep children is a mistake. Children are asleep. You can see the list of such adjectives. Of course, there are more of them. And of course, you can find some idioms or some fixed phrases, but the meaning there is a little bit different. So we can't put these words before nouns. We use them only after verbs. To make our life easier or more difficult, they sometimes have pairs. For example, afraid and frightened. We can use afraid only after a verb. I am afraid of spiders. But frightened children, we can use frightened before a noun. You can see some more pairs which work like this. So the same as sleep, which I used in the example. Asleep we can use only after the verb. They are asleep, remember here. But we can say sleeping children. Sleeping is okay to use before nouns. There is no explanation. The only variant is to do the exercises and to practice. If you are not sure, check the dictionary. Sometimes we can use adjectives after pronouns, after nouns, after, not before. Let's start with pronouns. You all remember the phrases, I'm looking for something interesting, something cheap, nothing better, and so on. After such pronouns, we use adjectives after them. We can use them after noun, but actually we can use them before such nouns as well. But if we have a noun plus some adjectives or some words like first, last, next, only, superlative adjectives, or first, last, next, only. So the only seat available, we can put it after a noun, or the only available seat before a noun. There is no difference, but if you have either a superlative adjective or these words, we can use an adjective before or after. And a position when we can use an adjective only after a noun. Yeah, after, not before. These are our favorite prepositional phrases. For elementary levels, usually the problem is to remember the preposition. But for higher levels, the problem is to remember the position of these adjectives. So, interested in ecology students is a mistake. The course will appeal to students interested in ecology. If we have a preposition after an adjective, we put it after a noun. After. And sometimes the meaning can change if we use the adjective before or after a noun. Let's start, for example, with the first sample. There, here, we have the present director is American. So present, it means that he is now, or he's at the moment, he is a director. He's a current director. And we took a vote for all members present who are physically here. In the first variant, the director might be in any place of our world. In the second sentence, after people were physically here, there. So when we use present before, it's the synonym of current. When we use present after, it means that something is here at this very moment or at that very moment. Another example. Responsible parents have been outraged by this show. Responsible parents, caring parents. And the person responsible will be caught and punished. The person responsible is the person who did this action. You see that in the second sentence, the meaning is even opposite. So the person was not responsible at all if he has done something bad. So responsible before caring, responsible after the person who did something. And are involved. So he gave us a ridiculously involved excuse. Involved is a synonym of complicated. And the president gave medals to all those involved, all those who took part. So involved before complicated, involved after, who took part. The position for some adjectives is important in terms of meaning. But it doesn't mean that you can put an adjective after a noun and say that you want to change the meaning. No, unfortunately, it doesn't work like this. You need the list of such adjectives is limited. Some more adjectives which finish with ed or ing. They work as adjectives and they also have the same problem. Some of them we can use before or after. Selected candidates, candidates selected. There is no difference. But some of them we can use only after a noun. Rubbish in the bins provided. Please dispose of your rubbish in the bins provided, not in the provided bins. You can see the lists are some adjectives which we can use before or after, and some which we can use only after a noun. Of course, the only variant is to look them up in the dictionaries. One moment which is pretty popular and pretty well known, adjective plus there, when we speak about a group of people. So an adjective will work as a noun. So the blind people who cannot see, the old people, the injured people who have been injured somewhere. There plus an adjective about group of people. Everybody knows it. That's not something new or secret, but two moments which I would like to draw your attention to are at first apostrophe s. We cannot use it with such words. We cannot say the disabled problems. We say the problems of the disabled. Yes, they are a kind of nouns, but still they are adjectives, and we cannot use this way of making a possessive case. And the second moment, which we cannot make with them, is plural forms. So the Japanese doesn't exist. So the Japanese or Japanese people. So two moments which we cannot use with such adjectives which work or which are used as nouns. No apostrophe s and no plural s. Now you can see the exercise. The more exercises you do, the better, of course. You can pause the video, read the sentences, get your variants, and see you in the next second where the exercise has already been done. Welcome. You can see the arrows. All the explanations you can find in the video before or in any grammar reference book of C1, C2 level. If you still have some questions, you are welcome. I will answer all the messages. But before finish, I want to draw your attention to some more moments. The first one is the order of adjectives. That is a very popular topic to discuss, but sometimes we can use several adjectives, but in real life, we hardly ever use more than two. They're in a very complex sentence, we can use three, maximum four, not more. Yes, there is an order, but The main idea which you should remember, you can see the order here as well, but the main idea that you should remember is that the adjective of opinion always goes the first. Then, according to this order, you can put some other adjectives. And the last adjective is an adjective of type or purpose of the noun. For example, I don't know, table lamp. Usually, it is even not an adjective, but a noun which plays a role of an adjective. So the first, opinion, the last, type or purpose. In the middle, the order you can see here. That is about the order of adjectives. And a bit about punctuation. There are a lot of questions about this part of grammar. We will mention some. Look, we put comma. Let's start with and. We put and when we speak about different parts over the same thing. So the door had both these characteristics, so we put and between them. Or we can put and when we speak about some similar aspects of the same thing. So political and economical center. Two colors in English are also combined with and. Black and white is remembered by everybody. Then we can use and when we put adjectives in their predicative position. And we have many adjectives. So ancient, dirty, and crowded. When these adjectives are of the same category, we can put and, or we can use it without and at the same time. And we never use and if the words are of different categories. So fantastic, soft, gray, leather, seats. Without and. Gray and leather in any language sounds a bit weird. And if the last moment here, if adjectives are really different, we usually use but or any its equivalent. Simple yet effective. That is about punctuation. Of course, yeah, we have commas talking about punctuation and about and, which we can use or cannot use between adjectives. For today, that's it. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you are always welcome. I answer every message, try to do it as fast as I can. The more you practice, the better. And remember that adjectives are not less important than any other pieces of grammar. Remember about adjectives because they make your speech more colorful and more beautiful. For today, that's it. The next part of adjectives, so some about grammar more common than just the positions, will be in the next video. For today, that's it. Have a good day. And remember that grammar is an essential part of the English language, but it's still just a tool. Bye-bye.